The truth is finally out, and Meghan Markle is absolutely furious that the royal biographer Tom Bower has revealed what she has allegedly been trying to keep hidden all these years. Meghan is reacting strongly, almost like someone whose secrets have been exposed, and instead of staying silent, she has responded in a way that seems to have made the situation even worse. Meghan's reaction is now being described as a major PR disaster. The book hit the market today, on 26th March, but even before its full release, excerpts from it have already surfaced, and those excerpts alone have triggered a strong reaction from Meghan and her team.
4 years after the release of the legendary tell-all book Revenge, the master himself is back with Betrayal.
The moment those details started circulating, Meghan and Harry quickly stepped forward to attack the book and issued a statement. They are calling the book a deranged conspiracy and melodrama, clearly trying to discredit both the content and the author. They went further to say that Tom Bower's commentary has crossed the line from normal criticism into what they described as an unhealthy fixation. They are basically saying that Tom Bower has a fixation with Meghan and Harry. According to them, Tom Bower has built a career out of creating increasingly elaborate theories about people he has never met and does not personally know.
He has made a career out of constructing ever more elaborate theories about people he does not know and has never met. Those interested in facts will look elsewhere. Those seeking deranged conspiracy and melodrama know exactly where to find him.
Meghan and Harry did not stop there. They even went on to advise the public, saying that anyone looking for actual facts should look elsewhere, while those interested in conspiracy theories would know exactly where to find them. In other words, the statement was indirectly saying that Bower's book belongs in the category of fiction rather than reality. However, many observers believe that this response did more harm than good. Instead of shutting the conversation down, it actually amplified interest in the book. Several commentators pointed out that the aggressive tone of the response suggested that the book may have touched on something sensitive, and by reacting this way, Meghan's team may have unintentionally given the book free publicity.
They're scared of Tom Bower. They're scared of what he's going to report because they know it's true. They know there's truth to it. If it's just deranged and crazy and fixation and whatever, then just ignore it. The truth will bear out. Generally, people will ignore what they seem as or deem as sort of on a crazy end of the spectrum. But that's not what Tom Bower is doing. Tom Bower is being a journalist here and reporting the facts. And the facts terrify Meghan Markle especially. She can't deal with them. She has to live in her delusional fantasy, and she hates anybody who tries to break.
Now let's take a closer look at what Tom Bower actually claimed in the book and why it has generated so much controversy. According to Betrayal, Bower argued that they have been struggling financially, socially isolated, and increasingly dependent on self-promotion since stepping away from royal duties.
Yikes! Harry's cash crisis. He is flat broke, and this programme has been told that as the money runs out and runs out fast, Meghan will, and I quote, be looking to replace Harry with a US billionaire. You heard me right. Meghan Markle is going to dump Harry and replace him with a US entrepreneur worth billions.
This claim connects directly to their decision to leave the royal family and become financially independent. After stepping away, they signed major deals with companies like Netflix and Spotify, which were expected to secure their financial future. However, according to critics, many of these deals did not deliver the expected results. Meghan's podcast ended after just one season, and her lifestyle show struggled to gain traction. These projects were meant to be major sources of income, but when they did not perform as expected, their financial situation reportedly became more complicated.
That Harry and Meghan are running out of money as the millions that they accrued from the book Spare and the original Netflix deal are beginning to dwindle.
At the same time, their expenses did not decrease. Their security costs alone are said to run into millions annually, which adds significant pressure. Even their charity organization has reportedly seen a decline in donations, meaning that both their personal and charitable finances are under strain. Bower also made a very controversial claim about Meghan's influence on Harry. According to the book, Meghan's ambition has played a major role in shaping Harry into someone who is now more distant from his family and more focused on public battles.
Series, Harry claims he and his wife Meghan felt abandoned, a major factor in their move to California. He added he felt trapped by his family and the toxic environment he perceived he was living in.
Tom Bower's book also reveals that Queen Camilla allegedly told a friend that she believed Meghan had brainwashed Harry. This claim has fueled ongoing debates about whether Harry is acting independently or whether he is being heavily influenced.
The Queen Camilla said that Harry had been brainwashed by Meghan, and that in fact members of the royal family felt that Meghan kind of changed Harry's personality, and he went from a fun-loving guy that we all loved, that we all liked, to this rather furrow-browed guy who seemed to hate everybody and everything.
This brings up an important question. Is Harry making his own choices based on his experiences, or is he being guided in a particular direction? That is something people continue to debate. Another major point raised in the book is that many of Harry and Meghan's public appearances and charitable efforts are more focused on image than actual impact. Like Meghan's visit to Uvalde after the tragic school shooting. Critics question whether the visit was truly about support or whether it was more about public image, especially because of how it was documented and shared.
To any situation, it's just, you know, of course it's important that public figures respond to this tragedy, and that's the most ghastliest of tragedy, but you can't help thinking there's a heavy dollop of opportunism and insincerity in this, which I think most people would find, not to their liking.
No, not at all.
Bower uses examples like this to build a narrative that the couple has shifted from service to self-promotion, something that continues to divide public opinion. Harry and Meghan are calling Bower's claims deranged theories, but their own actions seem to justify what Bower has pointed out in his book.
I mean, when I listen to Meghan, I am just reminded that there's nothing authentic there. She went on to say she's now the happiest she's ever been. She claims to be this entrepreneur without really acknowledging that her level of fame is because she married a prince. You know, the BS from Meghan just never seems to stop.
Tom Bower's book also claims that Meghan Markle took over the Invictus Games for her publicity, and adding that what the Sussexes do appears carefully planned for media attention rather than genuine engagement. Meghan has outright called his claims untruthful. Well, if they are just theories, then how do you explain this? The book takes a deep look at the Invictus Games. Prince Harry was heavily involved in the Invictus Games, which were originally founded to support injured veterans. According to Bower, Meghan's involvement has changed the focus of the event. He claimed that during the 2025 event in Canada, the attention shifted heavily toward Meghan's presence, appearance, and public moments, rather than the athletes themselves. Some critics even went as far as calling it the Meghan Games.
Bower suggests that the 2025 Games in Canada were overshadowed by Meghan Markle's public appearances, referring to the event as the Meghan Games. He cites Canadian executives who allegedly felt Meghan was a distraction and that her presence was more about bling than veteran rehabilitation.
There were also reports that media coverage focused more on her outfits and public displays than on the competitions. Some organizers and observers reportedly felt that this took away from the original purpose of the event, which was to highlight the resilience and achievements of injured veterans. Bower also mentioned issues like low attendance at certain matches, where crowds were reportedly managed or arranged for better visuals. He even claimed that Meghan emphasized formal titles and maintained a highly visible public presence throughout the event.
Atmosphere. At a 2025 wheelchair basketball match, Bower claims only 43 paying spectators attended. He alleges that about 100 people were corralled around Harry and Meghan by organizers specifically for photo opportunities to create the false impression of high engagement. Well, they would never do something like that, Scott Rouse.
No.
One of the most controversial claims in the book involves the athletes themselves. Bauer questioned the legitimacy of some participants' injuries, particularly during a wheelchair basketball match involving teams like the United States.
In a controversial passage, Bauer describes a match between a Nigerian team and an American team. He notes that while the Nigerian players had visible physical injuries, such as missing limbs, the American players, who he says were professionally trained, suffered from PTSD. He claims the American team wheeled themselves into a private area after the game and then all got up and walked away, appearing to have no physical injuries.
These claims were strongly rejected by officials and representatives who defended the athletes and described Bauer's statements as disrespectful and inaccurate. Despite all the strong public criticism coming from Meghan's team, there has been no legal action taken against Tom Bauer or his publisher. There have been no lawsuits, no cease and desist letters, and no formal legal threats connected to this book. This is particularly interesting because in other situations, Meghan's legal team has acted quickly. For example, when Variety magazine published a report about their struggles with Netflix, her lawyer reportedly responded immediately with a formal letter denying the claims.
Now, Meghan's lawyer, so they're taking this very seriously, in a letter to Variety, says this assertion, quote, seems calculated to play into the misogynistic characterization of her bossing her husband around. Prince Harry, meanwhile, attests that this is categorically false.
So the question many people are asking is simple. If they can respond legally in one situation, why not in this case? Legal experts suggest that Tom Bauer's books are usually based on extensive research and multiple sources, including insiders. Because of this, taking legal action could be risky, as it would require proving that his claims are false and malicious.
Full review, just remember, Harry and Meghan threatened to sue at the drop of a hat, and they have never tried to sue Tom Bauer because they know what he writes is true.
There is also the possibility that a lawsuit would only increase the book's visibility and sales, as seen with his previous work, Revenge. At the end of the day, Meghan's response has been described by some analysts as a PR misstep. Instead of shutting down the narrative, it may have strengthened it and brought even more attention to the book. There you have it, Meghan Markle's response to Tom Bauer's betrayal. That may have ended up doing the exact opposite of what was intended. So what do you think? Will Meghan take legal action against Tom Bauer for writing this book? Let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.